Win big in the First Bank Verve Debit Card Transact and Win promo. Transact with your First Bank Verve Debit Card on POS, web or ATM 2 to 4 times weekly and a minimum of 8 times monthly from February 2nd to March 30th, 2022. Winners will be rewarded weekly and monthly with airtime, cash, lots of exciting prizes, and the mega reward of a brand new car. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Get your First Bank Verve Debit Card instantly from any First Bank branch near you. Visit www.firstbanknigeria.com for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, this is Fabulous Julian. Welcome to Entrepreneur Showcase, brought to you by First Bank, the bank that puts you first all the time. This is a program that follows SMEs on their business journey, explores the ups and downs of people in the entrepreneurship ecosystem, and offers advisory services to help them improve their businesses. On today's show, we will be considering things around marketing, and I have with me via Zoom Patrick Mcfadden, an expert when you talk about marketing. And marketing is something that a lot of business owners get confused about, and that is why we're bringing this for us to learn from him. So he's going to do lots of the talking. I'll just ask a few questions and we'll listen in. And I know that you are going to learn a lot from today's episode. Patrick Mcfadden owns and operates a business called Indispensable Marketing. He is a marketing consultant, and the firm is known to help businesses install marketing as a process to increase visibility and make the phone rings. And as our listeners, I trust and believe so much that you really want your phone to ring because you have product or service that people truly need to buy. He's been doing this for 8+ years, and he's been recognized as someone that has been adding value around the world. And American Express gave him the opportunity to be an advisor, and he's also a sought-after small business thought leader in the marketing space. So over to you, Patrick. You got something to tell us about yourself beyond what I've said so far?
Hi, how you doing? I think you did a good job telling everybody who I am and what we do. And yeah, I just love helping small business owners grow their businesses, because a lot of times they come to us for customers. But what they end up finding out is that in order to get customers, they're going to need clarity, control, and confidence in their marketing. And the result of that is also customers. And so a lot of times that clarity, control, and confidence is what they need in the beginning. So I'm excited. Let's go.
Okay, thank you very much for making that clarity there. So the big question here is, what exactly is marketing?
I think I want to start off with what's marketing not. And it's not spammy messages. It's not getting someone to buy something that they don't need. It's not trying to trick someone or harass someone or beg them to buy what you're offering. Mm-hmm. I believe marketing is getting someone who has a need or a problem that you can solve and that they value to trust you enough to want to purchase and do business with you. And so you need, if you analyze what I just talked about, someone needs to be an ideal customer. There also needs to be a problem or a need that people are motivated to solve. And then there needs to be trust established enough so that they want to move forward in a relationship with you, not just a transaction.
Not just a transaction. So that person has to be an ideal customer that have the problem you can solve, and they trust you enough to solve that problem for them, and that transaction will happen. Fantastic. So marketing is not posting 3 times a day on social media. That's what you're trying to say?
That is correct. It's not. In fact, I just came out with something that I talked about, that social media is largely a symptom of success, not the tactic for success. So social media is where the evidence of your success lives, but it's not the creator of your success. So it doesn't matter your business. If you don't treat people right, if you don't have a great product, if your service isn't amazing, no amount of posting to social is going to help you, because the evidence part won't be there. And so you have to, in real life, in the way that you treat and service people, do something that's amazing. So first, be a great singer, and then your evidence of your great singing will live on social media. If you build a great product, the evidence of that great product will live on social media. If you're a great back doctor or dentist or chiropractor, if you're great at solving people's pain, back pain or teeth, then the evidence of that greatness will live on social media. So it can't create your success. It can only make it visible and amplify it.
Social media can only amplify the success you created underground. That's what I call it. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well done. And I like how you broke it down, that you have to build a great product or service before you come and showcase that on social media. And I know because of what you do, you've engaged with lots of business owners, and we would like to hear from you. What exactly are the elements, or do we call it ingredients? When you talk about marketing, what are those things that make up marketing? What are those elements, or you want to call them components, or you want to call them ingredients of marketing?
Yeah, I think like in anything that you're going to be cooking, there's a base. When we come to that word ingredients, right? And so I believe there's two parts of marketing. Just like in cooking, there's prepping, and then there's actually the cooking that has to be done. And for the prepping, you have to have a solid, clear strategy. And those ingredients include a narrow focus on a segment of customers, which we call your ideal customer. It includes a message that those customers want and value, and that promises to solve a problem. It then also turns into the customer journey. Do you provide an experience throughout your company or throughout the interactions you have with the customer that are going to be delightful, that are awesome, that bring joy? And so if you look at that, even from the moment when they found out about you, like today, no longer is it just that your service or product has to deliver. Your marketing must perform like your service. And what I mean by that, does your marketing give people what they want? Does it give them reviews? Does it showcase others that you've helped? Does it provide information to them that they want right off the bat? Whether that can be your contact information, your email, your phone number. So it's not just your product or service that has to perform today. It's all the services. Is your billing properly? Is your onboarding correct? Is the way you generate referrals easy for your clients? And so the experience is another element of those ingredients that you have to have together. And so once you have that narrow focus, you have messaging that promises to solve a problem, and you've mapped out an experience that people are going to enjoy, then you can move into the day-to-day tactics of how do we showcase the evidence of our success on our website? How do we take what we are great at and the problems that we're solving and the joy that our customers are getting and showcase that on social media? How do we stay in touch with our customers and let them know what's going on, what improvements we're making, what new initiatives we have tackling, or new service offerings? That could be through email marketing. And so that's when you get into the cooking, which is website, social, search engine optimization, which is SEO, email marketing, and those types of things. Mm-hmm. But first, you got to prep with the messaging, the narrow focus, and a customer journey map, and then you can move into cooking.
So you have first the strategy, then you break down the tactics to make the strategy work, right?
Yes. One of the things that I say is you need to have a who before what.
Can you break that down for us? The who before the what?
Yes, because your who determines your what. So when you have a focus on a narrow customer, let's just say you're in the home service business and you do kitchen remodels. Well, who are the type of people that want their kitchen remodel and want it remodeled in the way that you do it?
Okay.
And you may say, well, I want to focus on people who are grandparents,
okay,
who have children that have had children, that they want to transform their kitchen to be a space where they can show their grandkids how to cook and how we can have fun and da-da-da-da. Well, then, if you know that who, now you look at what is the what that's going to attract those types of people. So then on your website, you will have visuals of grandparents with kids in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about in your messaging and in your copy, transforming your kitchen space to a place where you can create memories with your grandkids. You may then have a grandkid promotion, or social media campaign where people take photos with their grandchildren and send it in. So those individual tactics I just described were the result of who you were trying to reach. So that's the who determines the what and the who before the what.
The who before the what, so that you can speak the language of those people that you're trying to reach. Then you put together all the tactical things that you need to reach this type of audience instead of doing the what before the who. Fantastic.
Correct.
Thank you very much. So if you are to advise someone that already put the what before the who, what will you tell them to do?
That's a good question. That's something I come across a lot. One of the things you probably have to do is back up a bit. And two things. If you've been in business for even just a little while, examine who you've been attracting to date. Are there certain types of customers that buy your extras if you have a product type business? Maybe they actually want to buy your warranty, or they sign up for your loyalty campaign and those types of things. If it's a service business, maybe they do repeat business with you. Maybe they use you on more than one occasion. Maybe they start off with a small project, but then it turns into a larger scope. So I would say if you started the what before the who, take a step back and examine who you've been attracting to date. And then out of those customers that you attracted, are there the ones, or some of those are the ones that you want more of? And then you would examine and analyze and dissect those customers. Who are they? Why did they come to you? What do they look like from a demographic standpoint?
Is that like a research or customer profile?
Yes, that is the research.
All right.
Absolutely. That's where you dive deep, demographics. And then you move to your psychographics, how do they think? What do they think value is? Are they somebody that enjoys a relationship over a transaction? Other things, do they want to pay a premium? Do they care about their employees? Those types of things. What do they believe? What's the story that they tell themselves is somehow, some way you can think about that. And then you move into behavior. So are they someone who likes to invest in their industry? Do they already put their kids in daycare? Or you just want to look at the behaviors of them and say, how do our clients behave? What would be a signal, a smoke signal to say, hey, this is what our typical ideal clients do in terms of behavior?
Fantastic. So from what you are explaining and what business owners go through on a daily basis, marketing looks like a huge and a complex thing. As an expert, as a thought leader, how do you want business owners to view marketing? What do you advise that they do? Not run away or shy away or dislike this thing called marketing? Or what do you advise? How do they embrace this thing called marketing?
Yeah, for a long time, marketing has been seen as this mysterious thing that just happens and it spits out, customers or leads. But proper way to view marketing is in a process approach. Okay. Because there is a set way to plan and strategize marketing, to implement marketing, and to vet marketing services that you need. And so if you approach it as a process, not only does it become consistent, predictable, but also systematic. And so I advocate for developing your marketing in a process, a way that allows you to create the predictability in your business for leads and communication that you need.
Okay, Patrick, is marketing something I can do on my own, or I get someone to do it for me? Can I outsource marketing 360 degrees, or I work with someone, or I do it on my own as an expert? Kindly help us understand how to treat marketing.
I think the answer to that question is determined by the maturity of your marketing and your business. So just like before you can run, you actually have to walk. And then before you can even walk, you have to just learn how to crawl. I believe that if you're in the early stages of your business, you're probably going to have to do some of that yourself. And then as you become a little bit more established, you may be able to outsource some of the implementation. And then after that, you get established and you're growing some more. I believe you have to handle it you have to hire somebody internally to do some things. But when it comes to outsourcing, there is a golden rule. Okay. You should never outsource or abdicate your strategy. Awesome. The tactical things can be given away to a third party, but under the supervision and management of strategy. And that's something that owner can never give away, or the cure, if there's a CMO, that can never be given away. So you always have to have oversight and instruction on who the business wants to reach, what value the business brings to that customer, the direction of the business, and those two things you can't, and the customer experience. How do you want the customer feeling after they've bought or interacted with a piece of element of your business or your brand? So those things you can't outsource, but you can definitely outsource some of the tactical elements.
So you're saying as a business owner, you own your strategy. It sits within you. And even if you need to hire someone, you are going to work with the person to pull out what you think, where you want to go, and all that. So correct me if I'm right or wrong. The strategy of a business sits with the business owner.
100%. You are correct.
Amazing.
You cannot outsource so the way I kind of talk about it too is that marketing is just a subset business function of any company. But the marching orders come from the business strategy, which is held by the owner. And so marketing's job is to support the business strategy. Just like if it's HR, the HR's job human resources, is to support the business strategy. So every single business function should support the business strategy. And that vision, that leadership has to come from the owner or the leader of the company.
Thank you very much for this clarity that you've brought, because we hear and see people wanting to outsource, and I think it comes from a place of trying to treat some of the functions as social media marketing. And I think one of these days we'll have to discuss the difference between marketing and social media, but that is not where we're going today. So if you're listening to us, you've heard that you need to focus on strategy before you start the tactical things. And tactics are all the things you do on a daily, weekly basis, things like posting on social media, email marketing, updating your website. So there is something called marketing strategy, and Patrick made us know that it borders around who your ideal customers are, your messaging, your customer journey, the customer experience. Okay, this sits with you. You can't assort this. You can't give it away. Even if you need to hire someone to work with you, you need to work with the person hand in hand, because majority of the questions that you need to answer resides with you. Thank you very much, Patrick. And the last for today's episode is, as a thought leader, how do you advise a business owner to approach? I just want you to recap this, because our audience, they need this to go back and start working, tweaking, or even planning how they will go back to their businesses and approach marketing. How do you advise that we approach marketing as business owners in Africa, in any part of the world where our audiences are listening to us?
Yeah, I think the best and most effective way to approach marketing is by a process, understanding that there are going to be specific elements that are required to move your marketing forward, starting with the strategy. Sometimes I like how you called it ingredients. In other cases, we call it the diagnosis. And that really does come before the prescription. Just like if you went to a medical practice, they have a process approach to how they serve patients. And it always starts with the initial diagnosis. Let's check your vitals. Tell me, they have a conversation with you around what you've eaten. And so that's kind of the same way that you want to approach your marketing. You know, what have you done so far? What are you currently doing? What's working? What's not working? Who are the customers you're attracting? Why are they attracted to you? How did they find out about you? So doing that discovery of those initial ingredients to get those answers is so critical. And then mapping out the tactical implementation that gives your strategy a voice. So that's what I think most people don't know, is that when you do those things and you get those ingredients, the tactics just become the voice of your strategy. So it brings it to life.
That's very, very good. Your tactics become the voice of your strategy, but you have to do the strategy or the strategic things first so that your tactics will have a voice. Thank you very much, Patrick. Just to wrap up, do you have final words, advice, or maybe a charge, something you want us to take away apart from every other thing you've said? Just give us a charge as business owners that really want to do marketing right.
If you really want to do marketing right, the number one thing that you could do is figure out how to survey and interview your customers to get the answers you need to move your marketing forward. That's the number one thing I would say is, surveys are great if you do it by asking questions, but really if you could find a way to get them on the phone, Zoom call, any of those types of things, to just ask, how did they find out about you? What initially got them to want to make a purchase? Would they refer you? Do they go to Google to find you? Or what would they do if they were looking for a product or a service like this? Those are the things that if you really want to do marketing right, you ask your best customers those questions, and those answers should tell you what to do next.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Patrick. And that is the end of today's episode. We would like you to follow our social media platforms, because we will always come back to you with amazing educational content that will move you in this business that you have started. I remain Fabulous Julian. Don't stop watching, don't stop listening, don't stop learning, and feel free to ask us questions when you download or when you listen to this episode. Ask questions, comment, or give us some things you like us to talk about so you can learn. Thank you very much for joining us on today's episode. I'll see you in the next one.
Win big in the First Bank Verve Debit Card Transact and Win promo. Transact with your First Bank Verve Debit Card on POS, web, or ATM 2 to 4 times weekly and a minimum of 8 times monthly from February 2nd to March 30th, 2022. Winners will be rewarded weekly and monthly with airtime, cash, lots of exciting prizes, and the mega reward of a brand new car. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Get your First Bank Verve Debit Card instantly from any First Bank branch near you. Visit www.firstbanknigeria.com for more information. Terms and conditions apply.